What's up, everyone? It is Austin with the Magic of Mayhem. Welcome back. Happy springtime. Hope you're having a great start of it's March, almost April here. Hope you're having a great time visiting the parks. It's that time of the year when spring just starts rearing its beautiful face, and we've got allergies, and we've got shorts, and we've got t-shirts, and it's starting to warm up, and you know what? We're all having a good time. This is always kind of reminds me of a cadence that my wife and I usually have. At this point, we've already probably started our year off at this point, being at Disneyland at least once. So we're not in that time right now. So we're going to get to there. We'll get back into that rhythm. But right now, we're just waiting till December for our first trip back in 2 years. It's going to be so long. But anyways, hi, welcome back. How you guys are doing? Are you having a good time? I hope you are, because it is right now the best time at Disneyland. And let me start off. It's the best time. You know what it is? It's the season of the Force. For all the Star Wars fans out there like myself, it is one of the funnest and most great times at Disneyland. But since all the new addition right now, right? They added the new Shadows of a Memory, a Skywalker saga show. I saw the first one, which was yesterday. So if you're listening to this, that was March 28th was the first one. An hour before the show started, it was already to capacity. Okay. If that doesn't just show that Star Wars people show up and show off, that's it. That's the detail right there. And it's an exciting detail, right? By the way, those that are just kind of watching right now on the video, this is, we're rocking some, we're rocking some Star Wars gear right now. You know what I mean? Which is a great time. It's great all around, right? We're all excited about it. And hope you guys are ready. Hope you're having a good time today. I'm having a great time. I'm actually trying to fix my camera on the fly because I have this weird yellow vibe going on right now. So if you're watching live right now, you're actually getting to see kind of what this craziness is. Oh, now our exposure went super dark. Maybe we just need to, whoa, we're going the wrong way. Whoa. Okay, we're going to fix this right now. We're just going to be a little bit on the dark side and then maybe pick up some brightness just a smidge. There we go. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so on the fly video adjustments, and we're looking pretty good now. So hello, welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having a great time. We're on episode 11. Episode 11. I had written out 52 topics. For those that are listening from the very beginning, I was 52 topics, and I could do once a week. And then life kind of smacks you in the face, and I was like, that's a little unrealistic there, Austin. It is extremely hard to do when you're one, working full time. Two, I commute 40 minutes one way to work. So when I get home after an hour and a half, hour and 50 minutes driving, that I just want to chill out with my family and call it a night, because that's usually how it goes during the week, especially when I have to be at work by 6, 7 a.m. in the morning. And then usually I don't get home till 4 or 5 o'clock. So it's a long day and it's difficult, but maybe one day this will become a full-time thing. I'm not shooting for that. That's not what I'm asking anybody to do. This right now is just a fun thing for me. Although if you really want to know what my ultimate goal of this is, my ultimate goal of the Magic of Mayhem podcast is actually to hit to the point where Disney's hey, Austin, would you like to come to this, private ticketed event that only influencers go to? And I would say, abso-freaking-lutely. You don't have to pay me anything. Just give me the invite. That's all I ask. I really don't need any compensation back. I would love to just make it to that point where they're like, hey, Austin, come. You want to see something cool that we haven't released to the public yet? And I could be like, yes. So yeah, that is kind of my ultimate goal, I would say, for this podcast, to one day hit to that point where it's just Austin, you get invited to the cool stuff. Speaking of cool stuff, though, my all-time favorite, I would say, Disneyland podcaster, but he's actually an East Coaster on the East Coast side. For those that have listened to WDW Radio, great podcast. My hero, Lou Mangello, is following me on Instagram. So I'm just saying, I'm kind of cool now. I've kind of hit that spot. But no, thank you, Lou. Appreciate it. He's a great, not just podcaster, not just human being, but he also pushes people to strive to hit to that point in your life where maybe you want to take this seriously and want to be a professional podcaster, or you want to make your dream into your entrepreneurship and make that your full-time job. So a guy that's just not only doing great things himself, he's been doing it for over 20 something years. I've probably been listening for the last 5 or 6 years. So to be on that journey with him is cool. But, ultimately, like, to be that one point, I would love to get to that point where he's at in his life. But to a great example, great person. So it's really cool to see. So back to the current news right now. Obviously, springtime has started in Disneyland, and with that comes lots of events. So honestly, it's one of my favorite times to go, just because it's starting to warm up. Spring break is a hard one if you are not wanting crowds. This is actually if you nail it that week or without having a ton of people there, it is the greatest time. But if you don't hit it during that time and you actually hit where there's a ton of people there, then it's kind of be a busy time. And that's just what Disney is at this point. People during spring break are like, now's our chance to go to Disneyland. And you're not the only one with that thought. So it's actually extremely busy. But it's a great time. Like I said, that's like a normal time that my wife and I seem to go to about February, March, April. And then usually towards the end of the year. So that's our 2 trips during the year, because you can only go 6 months and then you start feeling that Disney depression. So with that, we got spring flowers are in the air, and all over. Everything's blooming now, just like the Minnie Mouse now in front of the train station right now. It is an awesome flower setup. If you haven't seen it, it's great. It's Minnie Mouse. Who doesn't love Minnie Mouse? The extravaganza is back, where you can do it in every park, Disneyland, DCA, and in downtown Disney. It's just started March 25th. It's going till April 21st, and it's only $9.99. And that's where you're going around and you're finding certain spots to spot a Pinocchio themed egg on this side, or a Mike Wazowski egg on this side, and it's like a fun it's a scavenger hunt, but they call it the extravaganza. So combine some cool words and make it into something better. But yes, that's going on right now. The Food and Wine Festival started February 28th, so that's still going on till April 21st. My homie Yellow Cup Social Club, shout out to them. That's my bro right there. It's, for those that don't know what Yellow Cup Social Club is, it's, on the DCA side, when you get a beer, in that beer is a yellow cup. Usually that's what they pour the beer into, and that is the Yellow Cup Social Club. So if you're an adult and you incur and like to have some adult beverages, that yellow cup is your sign that you're drinking in DCA. And so shout out to them, Yellow Cup Social Club. If you're not following them on Instagram, it's one of my good homies. So absolutely. So, Season of the Force, Star Wars. This is the just epic time. Not only do they have a new show, they got new things coming out for Star Wars, but it's like one of the funnest times for Star Wars fans. Honestly, it really is. I got to watch that first show off a live stream on YouTube, and let me say, it's a bunch of rocks, and they crush the digital overlay on those rocks. It has got to be a phenomenal show. Definitely all about Skywalkers, and it's awesome. Also debuting in Black Spire Outpost is Luke Skywalker. It was cool to see him walking around how cool is it that you were the guy, whoever the actor is that's playing Luke Skywalker, to walk around in Disneyland in Black Spire Outpost, and you were the guy selected to be Luke Skywalker. He was very, his appearance, his mannerisms came off like a very gentle, a very humble Luke Skywalker, and I would say he looked like a young Mark Hamill, so I got no complaints on that. R2-D2, of course, you can't ever go wrong. I just wish they could kind of make R2-D2 not sound so chunky whenever he's driving across rocks, and it sounds like a chair that you're rolling stuff over, and it just doesn't sound good. I hope one day Disney can figure that one out. Side note there, when it comes to Disney stuff, I see a lot of influencers, no matter how good, how good, it's always going to be a good, positive review. But no matter how bad it is, they still are going to hype it up like it's something good. in my opinion, you got to be honest. And that, it was like a meme video. I forget who posted it, but it was basically like Disney influencers talking about the worst food and making it sound like it's the best. Like, come on, like, be realistic. You got to have that positive and that negative feedback. That's just part of being an influencer. But to just sugarcoat things all the time, you're not being real with yourself, and you're not being real with your followers and listeners. So, yeah, I'm always not going to sugarcoat it. If I like it, you'll know it. Just like my rant on the Monte Cristo sandwich last time. I didn't like it. I think it's just not good. It's garbage. That's what I said. I said what I said, and you listen to that. And whether you are more than welcome to your own opinion. So you don't have to, take my word for it. Try it out yourself, and if you like it, you like it. I'm just not the person that's going to like it. So not getting that Monte Cristo sandwich. So just put more gas on that fire there. But yeah, Star Wars, phenomenal time. They've got fireworks and everything going on in Black Spire Outpost, and it's so fantastic. For those not watching right now, I actually have a Tatooine Spirit jersey that I'm rocking right here. Oh yeah, you can see the two suns. You can see Luke right there. Since we're on the theme of the Skywalker saga, have to be rocking a Spirit jersey, right? Gotta be rocking one. So, yeah, it's a yellow, and it's like a pale yellow, I would say, a Spirit jersey. So for those that are listening, that's what I'm rocking right now. Who doesn't love a good Spirit jersey? I told you, that's that sucker punch for me. I can't go wrong with a Spirit jersey. I'm always going to want to just be like, yeah, I need a Spirit jersey, and I need it now. Meanwhile, as I'm talking, my camera's going out of focus. So there, it's coming back. There it is. Yeah. I should probably just make it a manual so that way it doesn't get all crazy like this. I'm just doing this all on the fly. So why not, Oh, wow. Look at that. I turn it off and it's actually pretty dialed in. So stop focusing, camera. Just focus right here. We'll get on the same page one of these days, okay? And I think today's the day after I'm doing it all live while we're talking. Yeah, so Star Wars fans, it's a great time. Big updates coming, mostly in the middle of this year in July. Exciting times for the Sherman brothers, even though they both have passed on. The fact that they're getting their additional lines added to It's a Small World, I'm excited. I love It's a Small World. That is actually one of the few videos, not few, but one of the few, one of the videos that I could put on from YouTube, like a ride POV video, and my son lights up. He loves It's a Small World. So excited to take him on that and get to hear the new verse. I did read it and I liked it. Thought it was super fantastic. And you can't go wrong with It's a Small World, and you can never go wrong with the Sherman brothers. Talk about two Disney icons. One of the few people that were just signed up to do music, and it's in everything. All of our childhood had a little bit of Sherman brothers, from Mary Poppins. I mean, the list goes on and on. I can't think of it all off the top of my head, but I know it's all stuff that we grew up with, right? And it's iconic, and it's things we won't forget. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Come on. How do they think of that? Who thinks of that? That's not a normal person thought. Like, hey, you know what? Let's do supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like, that's the word we're going to make her sing. And you're like, what? Like, Walt, when he first heard that, is like, are you kidding me right now? Like, what? Make that make sense, because it really doesn't, right? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Make that make sense. It doesn't. But did they not crush it? Is that not a word that only we would know if they didn't make a song out of it? Like, how cool, honestly. Sherman Brothers, goats of all times. Also, Disneyland's 70th anniversary, starting soon. May 16th, 2 months away. It's a big time. I was there for the 60th anniversary, and I'm pretty sure I was there for the 50th anniversary. So, crazy that this is all just going down. And Disneyland is just still a staple in a lot of people's lives, and a staple for many, 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 many moons and years to come. And I'm just excited to see it continue to grow, continue to evolve. As Walt said, Disneyland will never be complete. And I can't wait to see that transition too, as my son gets older, that I get to live that with him. Speaking of that, though, like I just cannot wait for the days that we can watch a Star Wars film together and like we have conversations about it and we geek out. I have some pretty good fond memories as far as growing up with the prequels, not the sequels, but the prequels. Um, no, actually, both. So I actually have a VHS copies of the original three, and then Episode One was the first Star Wars movie that I saw in theaters as a kid growing up, and it was electric. I went to the theater twice as like a young kid. What year did that actually come out? Let me look that up as we're talking. But I remember going to the movies and just how much that blew me away. 1999. So I was about 8 years old. So 8 years old for Star Wars Episode 1, and I saw it twice. First time I actually was sick. I made it all the way until the lightsaber duel of Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. Made it all the way that far, and then I was too sick to like continue watching. I forget if I had headaches. As a kid, I used to chronically get migraines, so that used to like affect me, and so that was the biggest thing. Like, right, so migraines used to affect me to the point where it was like disabling, basically. So anyway, so I watched that, missed the first time. So then when we had to go back, it was the greatest thing. And not that I have like a lot of times where my father at the time geeked out with me on stuff like that. But I do remember that Episode 1 and Star Wars was one of the only times that he did go to the theater with me. One of the few times. And he actually watched that whole movie with me. And we had a bond over the pod racing. That was actually one of the few times that he bonded with me on like Star Wars. So it was cool to have cool memories that I always will have. And it's one of those moments like, yeah, I never really like bonded with my father over Star Wars or anything like that. So it was cool that he enjoyed that as well with me. But I cannot wait, like I said, to watch Clone Wars, to watch, the shows. Speaking of which, Andor Season 2, I haven't started Andor, the first one, which is so sad on my part, especially as a big Star Wars fan. I just know that I need to make that happen. I need to get on board, especially with how sick the trailer was for Season 2. I legit cannot wait for it to start, so I need to get Season 1 done and then be dialed in. Hold on, I need a quick drink. I'm kind of, as you could hear, like I'm kind of getting like clammy, which is weird. We're just drinking some Michelob Ultra, so don't judge over here. But yeah, Star Wars is just such a fantastic series. I love that Disney got it. I was playing the old school Disneyland Adventures video game today, which was fantastic. Still, but it's funny to walk by Star Tours, and they have the marquee and everything set up for Star Tour or Star Wars. For Star Tours ride, but there's nothing there. There's like no text or anything, so it just makes me giggle that they hadn't owned Star Wars just yet at the time of making that game, but they have everything set up, like the marquee for it, but they just can't. They couldn't use it, so it's quite hilarious to be running around in that game and be like, "That's all the Star Wars stuff," but they didn't own it at the time, so hilarious on that one. But yeah, that's what's kind of going down. This time of Disneyland is, like I said, it's just shorts. It's cool merch. By the way, the Disneyland 70th anniversary merch that's coming out looks epic. Oh my gosh, how could I forget the Death Star popcorn bucket? Holy crap, is that thing not the coolest thing around right now for popcorn buckets? Like that's got to be a bestseller. I was already this week looking at on eBay before the 28th, so before yesterday, of them releasing that. But on eBay, people were already doing like a like a pre-sale for them of them getting it. And I was like, holy crap. One dude for like $75 or $80 was already scalping people and had like sold 22 of them. So he had already sold them and he hadn't even got those buckets yet. So you better hope he's got all those buckets, because that's $80 out of his pocket if he if he doesn't do that correctly. So kind of made me giggle. I couldn't believe that scalpers were going at it that hard, but it makes sense because it's one of the coolest popcorn buckets around right now. So yeah, you can't really hate on that one. I hope you guys enjoyed the last episode, for those that don't know what I'm going to talk about, I'll just quick explain. I did a hype, overhyped, and a straight up trash segment. But this time for today, I'm going to cover some of the ones submitted. I did like a questionnaire on Instagram. By the way, if you want to follow me on TMO _Mayhem, the magic of Mayhem on Instagram. I'm probably going to be doing this and incorporating this inside my podcast. So if you want to submit some about what you agree or disagree with at Disneyland or Disney in general, what is hyped, what is overhyped, and what is straight trash. So we'll get this right out of the gates. There's some people that had submitted some stuff, and I was like, wow, I cannot believe it. First one, Dole Whip, overhyped, but I don't like pineapple. That was at magic_key_adventures. Saying that a Dole Whip is overhyped just because you don't like pineapple is a no. The Dole Whip is fantastic. It literally lives up to that hype. Just because you don't like pineapple doesn't mean you can't have another Dole Whip, because there's other kinds of styles of Dole Whip. But the pineapple Dole Whip is the OG. It's the original. I get it. But that you can't just say that a Dole Whip is overhyped, because a Dole Whip is a Dole Whip is a Dole Whip, right? It is one of the best, especially on a hot day, like springtime day, and it hits like 75, 80 degrees. There's nothing better than a cold Dole Whip to just cool you down and ease your mind into your day, that you're just there to enjoy Disneyland. Am I right? I think so. I gotta say with that one, this is definitely one that I kind of agree with, because as a West Coaster, as a Disneylander, whenever it came to Walt Disney World, I was confused. So this is by at Meg's Magical. She just wrote Figment, overhyped. So as a West Coaster, as someone that had not known who the heck Figment was, when I got over to Walt Disney World for the first time in 2020, and there was all this stuff about Figment, I'm like, who the heck is Figment? One, their storytelling for him worldwide, I don't think is like good, because when I was there, I was confused. I had heard about Figment just in the sense of like while walking around, and you're like, what is Figment? Like, what is that? Now knowing, obviously, he's like a purple dragon. Figment's cool. Obviously, Epcot, I get it. Cool. But overhyped, I agree. Especially if you're not in the loop. It's kind of confusing, right? I'm not born on the East Coast. They didn't really like set that up for any other park other than Walt Disney World, which is cool. Every park needs their own thing. But when it was like, it's like Figment, I'm like, who the heck is Figment? Like, it was just so confusing to me. I wasn't quite sure what was going on. So I as a West Coaster, and people may crucify me for this one, I agree. It's overhyped. Like, okay, cool, Figment. Like, I get it. Cool, it's your own park thing. It's Epcot. Great. Thumbs up for that one. But overhyped, I agree. Okay. It's a Small World is overhyped by At Best Day with A. Disagree. How do you say that It's a Small World is overhyped? It's a Small World is a staple. It's a Walt Disney himself staple, World's Fair. Without it, the parks may not look like they do, okay? So I 100% disagree. I think that It's a Small World is perfectly hyped. I think It's a Small World is such a great ride. There's a lot of homage and tributes and characters that they've added in over the years of It's a Small World to just connect us and show that, hey, it doesn't matter what part of the world you are. We're all human, and it's a small world after all. We all have our differences, but realistically, we're all human and we're the same. We all struggle with the same things. We all deal with the same things. So that's why I think It's a Small World is a classic and forever will stay as one of my favorite rides. And because Walt Disney was directly involved with that you can't go wrong with It's a Small World. So I disagree with that one 100%. And that's just me. I mean, those listening right now, could be like, you're wrong, Austin. I think It's a Small World is trash. Well, you're wrong. Okay. I'm just saying that now because it is. It's a classic. It's Walt Disney, like, directly involved. How are you going to hate that? That is World's Fair. That is everything that created what we know as our parks today. Like, World's Fair was such an event for Walt Disney himself that it just transformed probably his mindset and seeing technology advances at that time. And it made, honestly, it changed a lot of rides to that this day wouldn't have been the same, right? So that's why I'm going on my tangent, on my rant on that one, that I disagree. It's a Small World is perfect. It's just beautiful. Live action films. I'm sorry. So next one, live action films and sequels, totally not needed. Fight me. Angel on Main Street 2024, trash is what her thing is saying. So Angel, shout out to Angel, great person. She said she's gonna make my wife ears one day. I can't wait for it. But Angel on Main Street 2024, I agree. Live action remakes. I was just scrolling through Disney Plus today, actually, and I scroll upon the live action Pinocchio. I forgot all about that movie, all about the live action. You know why? Because the first one is just perfect and it didn't need anything else added to it. Do I love Tom Hanks? Absolutely. But did Pinocchio need a remake? No, it didn't, because the original was great. Now, technology has changed. Do I feel like maybe we could remaster? Oh, well, now I'm going down a tangent that this could be. My brain was trying to take me that way, and as I was talking, my brain's like, wait a second, what do you mean? No, we don't need to remaster anything. Okay, can we upscale? Yeah. Don't remaster something. We're good. It's good how it is, but like upscale it, make it look, capable and good on a 4K TV. Beautiful. Cool. Don't redo it. Don't remaster it. We don't need a redrawing of it. It's perfect how it is. But everything having a live action remake sucks. I 100% agree. The OGs, the originals they're so good. Like, there was no need for a redo. Now, is there stuff that I'm excited for? I can't say that I'm not excited for Hercules, the live action one. I don't know what it's going to look like. I love Hercules, the cartoon already. It doesn't need a remake. But I'm kind of excited to see how can they redo that and make it into something. It could be a dumpster fire. Snow White, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't really have an opinion on it. I know that there's a lot of negativity with that. I don't really need to comment on it because you all know about it. And as far as my take, I will see it. I will, and then I'll have my opinion, but I don't have one at the moment. But it didn't need a live action. It didn't need a remake. Although Coco, I'm kind of curious how they're going to make a second one, because the first one was absolutely perfect. It's my wife's favorite. It's one of my favorites. Coco, the first original, was so good. How are they going to build onto that? What are they going to do? It made so much sense, that first one. So how's the second one going to go? And it just got announced 2029, I believe. That's a long ways away. That's 4 years away. So we'll see what kind of juju they could come up and make Coco 2 as good as the first one. And I hope they do. But we'll see. Okay. Next one. Mickey-shaped snacks are overhyped. There are much better snacks in the parks from Enchanted Trips by Emily. Mickey-shaped snacks are overhyped. I gotta say, that's kind of true, right? But do we not all search for hidden Mickeys? Do we not all correlate everything we do in a Disneyland park to Mickey Mouse? Absolutely. So to say that they're overhyped, based off what her opinion here says, that there's much better snacks in the park, I agree. The cheeseburger, spring rolls, there's the popcorn. Oh, thank God. Popcorn, churros. Although everybody in Walt Disney World says that the churros are trash. Sucks for you guys, because the West Coast churros are where it's at. And a pickle, by the way, which we don't accept pickle hate here. Jake, that's a point out to you, Jake. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to my Halloween episodes and listen to Jake talk anti-pickles. And there's fights. There's a fight on the board for that one. But no pickle hate here. But I agree. I agree to a point because I still love like is it the Mickey eared cheesecake caramel apple, the one that's like dipped and it's got marshmallow ears. It is the greatest caramel apple of all time. It is Mickey shaped, and it's caramel and it's cheesecake, and I think it's cheesecake. I'm kind of just going off the top of my head. It's been a minute since I've had one, so I've got like amnesia and forgetting how great that apple is. I can't wait for one in December because I'm gonna get it. But yeah, do I agree that there's other better stuff than like a Mickey pretzel? Yes, absolutely. A Mickey ice cream, cool. Yeah, there's better stuff. But I think we forget that we're paying for Mickey, right? That when we go to the parks, it's Mickey Mouse. It's shapes of everything to just connect us with Mickey. So I agree that there is a certain degree of overhype that everyone's like, a Mickey waffle, a Mickey pretzel, like everything shaped like Mickey. I agree. But there are better snacks, but I just don't think that taking away Mickey from the shape is what I agree with. I disagree with that one to some degree. Okay. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride deserves the hype. If no other reason than being unhinged, the least Diz thing. That was shared by @sharing the magic. I agree. Mr. Toad's Ride is one of my ultimate favorites. My wife and I have been stuck on it multiple times where it's broken down, and it's unhinged. Who doesn't love Mr. Toad? Like, it's coolest. I think Mr. Toad needs more hype. It is such a fun ride in Fantasyland. I think it's a great ride. There's so many funny aspects to that ride of it, the storytelling as you're going through and how fun it is. So I agree that deserves more hype and it deserves more love. Who doesn't love Mr. Toad? But you don't see anything from Mr. Toad. They better not ever shut that ride down in Disneyland or I will riot. I will be out picketing. Save Mr. Toad. Save Mr. Toad. That's going to be my motto if that ever happens. So please, Disney, don't shut Mr. Toad down. It is unhinged. It is such a funny story. Please keep that around forever. Please, please don't ever shut that down. But yes, I agree. It deserves more hype. There's no merch. I've never seen merch of Mr. Toad. Maybe that's something we do, everyone. I'm not throwing out my ideas here, but maybe we get some Mr. Toad love going on here. Maybe we do like the Magic of Mayhem and Mr. Toad crossover or something. Because, I was a professional race car driver for 3 years. So Mr. Toad being a driver, it kind of makes sense. Maybe we'll collab with something from Mr. Toad. But yeah, 100% agree. All right. This one I cannot wholeheartedly agree anymore. Paying for Lightning Lane is straight trash. Submitted by Enchanted by Christina. Agreed. No one wants to pay for Lightning Lane. The fact that they upcharge us too on specific rides, insane. I get it. It's all about the money. It's a money game. Disney wants to continue to make that money to make our parks that much better. But I agree. Why you got to make us like just shovel out more money? In my last episode, I talked about how they are just the masters at making us feel like we're got an empty, a full wallet and empty like what am I trying to say here? Like a full wallet with empty inhibitions. Like we're just gonna keep throwing money down no matter what, and they've got us right. But I agree, Lightning Lane shouldn't. Fast Pass. I miss the OG Fast Pass where we like scan our card in and you'd get your ticket. Like that was cool. I do have some original like A, B, C, D tickets too. That's cool to have. But yeah, the old school ticket style Lightning Lane was the greatest. So I agree that Lightning Lane is tough. Okay, this one is a two-parter, and let's see how mad everyone else gets with this one because I was like, wow. Okay, Peter Pan overhyped, straight trash, and then the People Mover Y at Sarah's _magical_ vacation. Sarah, why you got to go for two separate things and just be upset about both? Peter Pan, okay. All right. Are you guys buckled in? If you're driving right now, please be buckled in. You should be anyway, but here we go. Peter Pan, is it overhyped in Fantasyland? Yes. Did I just whisper that? Yes, I did. Yeah, I think Peter Pan is a little, no, it's overhyped. That ride it's good. Is it good? For sure, but all the rides in Fantasyland are good. I would say Pinocchio's is right up there. Snow White's up there. Mr. Toad's is way better, I think, in my opinion, than Peter Pan. It just gets no love. And so I will start a petition for Mr. Toad. Mr. Toad gets some love. That's what we're going to call our tour for 2025. Mr. Toad deserves some love. But no, Peter Pan is overhyped. I wouldn't say it's straight trash like she did, but Peter Pan is overhyped. Now, the People Mover, she wrote Y with a bunch of like, what, you know, the letter Y. Like, why People Mover? As someone from the West Coast, shut your mouth, okay? I'm just saying that in the most respectful way because we don't have the People Mover anymore. I would love to bring the People Mover back here in Disneyland. We don't have it. You got it. And then for you to say why, it is one of the chillest, best rides in Walt Disney World. I will fight on my own mountain that is a great ride to continue. It is a great chill ride. It's like the train. Like, just let me chill out for a little bit, enjoy the sights of Walt Disney World in the People Mover. Why can't I do that in Disneyland? I just want a chill ride to just sightsee, watch people, enjoy my snacks, and just chill out for a minute. It's a chill, just we're vibing, we're cruising. It's like putting on a YouTube video of like Disney ambiance. Like, I'm not there, but I want to hear the sounds of like being there. Take me there in my memory and let me enjoy my moments by myself. So I disagree with that one about the People Mover. I would fight tooth and nail if they would just bring it back. I don't care if I get knocked out, but come on. I'm going to fight and fight and fight. Please bring the People Mover back. It's just the track's up there doing nothing. It's so sad to see. And you know, people are like, oh, it's just shade. No, it's not. That's the People Mover. What it should be here in Disneyland, and it's not. Walt Disney World, don't lose that. I'm just saying that. Okay, here we go again. Sharing the Magic. They posted twice, so here we go. Peter Pan's flight is overhyped, which we just talked about, but I think it's what you bond to as a kid. I like the Mary Martin one best. So what she's saying is Peter Pan does bond you. It's one of the early rides you could do as a kid. So it's probably one of the most memorable too, because it's a very visually appealing ride, and as a kid, that's what your brain's all about. So would I agree that it's overhyped? It still is. Yeah, I agree on that one. All right. Rise is the best ride from Magic_Key_Adventures. Abso-freaking-lutely. Hype all day long. Rise is the best ride. Come on, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. You really think I'm going to disagree with that one? I've got Tatooine on my back. Let's see if I can even show it. Yeah, see? It says Tat right there. Tat, and then Uween over here. That made me giggle. But yeah, I'm seriously, Rise is one of the best rides. If you're not even a fan of Star Wars and you ride Rise of the Resistance, the whole queue, the build-up, the transporter, the walking out and seeing all the freaking stormtroopers, then getting on a freaking thing and going through a whole battleship while a fight's going on, and then you come back safely. Oh, my little nerd self is just going crazy. Like, that is the coolest stuff. How could you ever not think that's the best ride? Visually, it's good. It's a trackless ride. You're seeing so much happen. You got Kylo Ren freaking chasing after you. You have the First Order going crazy. Like, it's so cool. Best ride, 100%. I agree. These next two, submitted by my niece, and 110%, you're going to see why we are related. Okay, here we go. And she didn't even know what I had said last episode, so this makes me even giggle more. Beignets might be overhyped. Depends on where you get them, though, and she needs to try more, is what she said. And Pooh's Corner, underhyped for sure. So this is 1,000%. This is ssophia.lynn. So Sophia Lynn with two S's at the beginning. That's my niece, by the way. She said right at the beginning that beignets are overhyped, and I freaking agree with you, sister. This is why she's my niece, 100%. And Pooh's Corner, underhyped. I agree. Pooh's Corner is legit one of the best. It's so sad that it's just kind of off on its own, but I love going into that little shop there and seeing all the Pooh stuff. You could get a Tigger tail, which is freaking bomb. You could get all those apples and all kinds of cool goodies right there. And it's seriously some of the best stuff. Honestly, I love it. I love Pooh's Corner. I 100% agree. Now, this last one, I put this one last because it's like, what? I just can't get on board with this. Okay, here we go. First of all, you're going to get the first 3 words are going to make me like boil right now. The Haunted Mansion. Okay, that's where we're starting, just so everyone's on board here. I don't get overhyped. At Tucker's Mom 23. Tucker's Mom is not overhyped. Haunted Mansion can never be overhyped. Actually, listening to Lou Mangello this week, you find out that the pipe organ that is played in the ballroom scene is actually a replica from the same one of Captain Nemo's in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And my nerd like connection to that was like, whoa, that's so freaking cool that Disney is like reusing an organ from a movie into their ride as like an homage to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. How cool is that, right? Thank you again, Lou Mangello. Hearing that little tidbit was so cool to hear. But yeah, can you believe that? But I don't get it. It's overhyped. That Tucker's mom, listen, Tucker, you need to go talk to your mom and be like, Mom, listen, let me explain. And I'm going to play this clip for you from The Magic of Mayhem in Austin and how he explains why the Haunted Mansion is one of the best. First of all, it is one of Walt's original ideas. It is a tale of 2 different visions combining to make what is what it is. I see, this is now my history is just going out the window because I can't even tell you the 2 Imagineers. One was making it scary, one was making it more like a fun house, and look at where it is now. And it was going to be a walkthrough ride, and it didn't become, and it was a doom buggy made by Bob Gurr, my freaking favorite Imagineer, that now made it a whole ride. It was supposed to be done before Walt died. It didn't happen. Walt passes away. This ride becomes such an icon of itself. They make an elevator go down and the stretching room happen. There's so much darkness, and I'm going to be so sad when they actually change everyone. It's not PC. It is definitely not. It's not an easy pill to swallow. When you are in the stretching room and it goes dark and you see a body hanging from the ceiling, people are upset that that's way too much. But if you don't get it, the voice even says, but there's always my way. And basically he said, kill yourself and you get to be part of the 1,000 ghosts, right? 999 haunts. Yeah, you'll be the 1,000 by dying. That's how you become one of the ghosts. Is that not how that happens? But his is a little dark tale. There's always my way, and you see a body hanging, right? That's his way to be like, hey, you want to join us? That's the easiest way to do it. You can do it my way. Super dark, right? As a kid, you don't quite understand. You're like, oh, cool. There's like a body kind of swinging up ahead. But as an adult, I just thought it was such a dark moment for Disney. It is a very dark moment. That saying, hey, kill yourself, hang yourself. I know this is probably a trigger warning, but I'm just going to keep it real here. But that's just what it is. That's just what the part is. And I'm going to be real sad if they change it because it is such a dark moment. But it makes a creepy factor to it, right? It's what makes Haunted Mansion so good. I disagree that this is overhyped. Haunted Mansion can never be overhyped. Haunted Mansion is Haunted Mansion. It deserves its place. That's why it's all in every park in one way or another, whether it's the manor, whether it's in Haunted Mansion in Walt Disney World in their own version. It's got its place, right? So I disagree with that one big time. That one kind of gets me fired up. I'm telling you. I don't even know if Tucker's mom actually listens to my podcast, but I hope you do, just so you could hear my rebuttal to that one. What a cool segment, though. Switching gears here, that how cool was it that, the trash, the overhyped and trash segment I think it's going to become a recurring thing here. So if you want to submit something or if you want to DM me on Instagram, remember it's TMO_mayhem and tell me what you think is overhyped and trash. And I might talk about it here, just like Tucker's mom over here talking about the Haunted Mansion being overhyped. I disagree, Tucker's mom. Isn't it fun here? Don't you guys just love listening when I go unhinged like that? Because It's literally my favorite part because I could just go buck wild. Yeah, episode 11. One of these days you'll actually like join. You'll start listening listening one of my podcasts again, and there'll be like maybe intro music and stuff. Maybe one day. But we're here at episode 11 and we don't have that yet. So, not that it's not in the budget, I just I don't know. I haven't really tried to make anything other than, hey, hit the start record button and here we go, because that's just how it's been. And I enjoy it that way. And I think you guys do too, because it's not all fluff, no pomp and circumstance. It's just straight to the what it is. Again, Season of the Force, my favorite. By the way, I can't wait for Revenge of the 5th, although May the 4th is always great, but Revenge of the 5th is my absolute favorite day. You want to fight me? Kylo Ren is, I think, one of the strongest Sith in the galaxy. You can never go wrong with Darth Vader. You can never go wrong with him because he's the beast. But something about Kylo Ren, I always thought he was cool. I love that he would go on more rage rampage and just destroy stuff. Also love that they did like spoofs on it. It's great. But yeah, I think Kylo Ren, like, who stops a laser bolt like in the middle, like just floating in the first Force Awakens one? Like, oh, it just shows how powerful he is. I think it's sick. Kylo Ren, shout out, you're my favorite. But I'm a Sith guy, so I know people be like, why not Darth Maul? I love Darth Maul too, but Kylo Ren is just, he didn't die in the first movie that he was shown, you know. Shout out Darth Maul, I love you though. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for today. If you got any things that you want to hear from me, just, send me DM, write me, text me. I know some family, friends, people are starting to now listen to this, which I appreciate. Thank you for like being a returning person. If you're back here again, I really appreciate it. I'm having a blast doing this, and I'm doing the best that I can. So I hope you have a great time. Remember, Season of the Force is the best one. Go celebrate, go watch some Star Wars movies with your family, with your friends, and enjoy it, okay? And this is Austin with the Magic of Mayhem. I will see you next time. Have a great freaking day. Have a great freaking week. Have a magical Disney time. I hope you just have the positivity, be on the quest to be a good person, and enjoy life. Like, just spread the love, all right? I hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time on episode number 12. We'll see you next time. Bye.